Creator of VPN tier list.
Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Tom Spark. Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing an updated review of Nord because recently it has climbed up its share of the rankings. Spoiler, it's now one of my top rated VPNs. So guys, in this video, this is an unsponsored review of NordVPN. You know how we do it here on the channel. We do objective VPN reviews. Kind of just organized by the data and what it tells us. We collect what people want here from the community in VPNs and then aggregate them by scores, and that's called the VPN tier list. You can find the data table on vpntierlist.com by clicking on this link here. Join the Discord to discuss VPNs as well. So guys, in this review, we're going to be discussing what Nord does well, what it could improve, and why it deserves the score it does here on the channel. Right now, it does sit as a top-rated VPN provider, number one, 2 points up ahead of some of the other VPNs out there. So guys, I'll be putting a link in the description down below if you want to check out Nord. With that link, you should be able to get the best available price. And right now, if you use that link, I do believe you'll get around 3 months extra free, as you could see right here, with a 74% off of their kind of retail price. So really the 3 extra months is really what you want to make sure you get. So using my link in the description down below will get you that price. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into the video, but a quick word from our sponsor. Are you guys ever worried about getting doxxed? I know I am, and that's why I use a service like Incogni to make sure no one can find my IRL information if they find my name. A service like Incogni goes to all the available data brokers out there like white pages and these different websites. It will tell these websites to remove your information, and it saves you tons of time. Use my link in the description down below to get 50% off Incogni, as you see here on this website, to get this deal. This is my top rated data broker removal tool. It's around half the price of competing services like Delete Me, and it has a better interface to boot. So thanks for checking out this one, and let's get back to the video. So guys, first up, we could discuss the price with NordVPN if I have any suggestions or pros and cons. So NordVPN really is affordable long term. It's around $107 if you want to get like the middle plan, but $83 for 3 extra months for 2 years is actually very good. This includes the core VPN package. The good news is Nord does include 10 simultaneous devices, which is an improvement. It used to only have around 6, so I do like they improved that. I do believe that was actually pretty recent too, around in the last year or so. So that's nice to see. They also have some other bundles you can get. Nord, for some reason, has like a cyber protection identity theft kind of feature there. I haven't really tested that out too much, but I do like to see some other extras too, like cloud storage, data breach scanner, and a password manager. This is one of the only few VPNs out there that does include kind of their own password manager. It's pretty good. It's called NordPass, and I've checked it out, and the UI is actually one of my favorites. So it could be an incentive if you're looking into getting into this ecosystem. But if you're not interested in that, you could just buy the normal package as well, which is a pretty good price. For the ultimate package, it does get pretty pricey at $161 for the first 2 years. So take that into consideration. Now, guys, the thing with Nord is that after these sales go, there is a increase in price. So make sure to walk out for that for the after 2 years. You could use services like privacy.com to watch those fees and things like that. Just be aware of that. So that is something they could improve. I'm not a huge fan of VPNs that kind of increase the price at the various terms, but that's kind of the price you pay for getting a good deal in the first term. Some of the VPNs that don't do that, something like iVPN, Molvad, and some of those other VPNs, they kind of stick to the same price forever, but it also gets expensive just in the way that they don't ever give you discounts. So it's kind of like a pro and a con at the same time. If we take a look at the pricing scheme here with Nord, we can also see that 3 years could be a little bit more affordable. Sometimes they use kind of like countdown clock timers on the website to incentivize sales quicker, which I'm not a huge fan of. We also see the price increase, like I said, and 1 month could be a little bit more affordable. As you can see here, it's around $13 a month, which is pretty pricey. Usually we like to see more around $10. So they have some room for improvement. However, for 2 years, $83 and 3 months extra is pretty good. So with that said, let's get into the next section. All right, guys, as you know, the next section is application. Now, this is one area that I think Nord has actually improved quite a bit. The application has kind of gone through various iterations. I've been testing out Nord for around 7-8 years, and I think this is definitely the best incarnation yet. The main kind of panel has like your main kind of connections where you search the cities and stuff like that. You have threat protection, which is Nord's kind of like integrated. It's almost like an antivirus light. It kind of protects you from clicking on malware and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Also, it has file sharing, which works through its kind of MeshNet feature. MeshNet is a cool thing they built in, included in, and not really any other VPN has it. It lets you share files from your computer back and forth if you connect to NordVPN, and this can even work when you're not at home. It creates kind of like a WireGuard connection server, which is pretty neat. You can even let people onto your network if they connect to NordVPN too, by sharing MeshNet to kind of have like a LAN area for gaming. So that's pretty cool. Additionally, you can see a couple other tabs. This is more of a visual interface. So Nord kind of has this home tab and this tab, which is kind of neat. Here's your threat protection. We could kind of configure that a little more. And like I said, the MeshNet. So I think Nord has done a pretty good job here of kind of laying out the various kind of features in the application to make it easy to use. You also see updates if those are available. We do have an update right now. So that's nice to see automatic updates included, and it seems to work pretty well usually. General apps are just basic things you can configure to configure how it launches and so forth. VPN protocol, we have WireGuard, which is what we want. Split tunneling, custom DNS, those kind of things are really what we want. Kill switches, split tunneling is nice to see. Some other VPNs still haven't implemented that. If we go into tier list, what is it missing? Well, it does need a Linux UI. Still some other competitors that are similarly owned, like Surfshark do have Linux UI. That said, Nord does have DNS controls where Surfshark does not. So interesting to see there. Nord could add port forwarding. That would be a good feature bonus if people really want to optimize their seeding speeds for torrents. We could see some additional protocols and proxies like V2Ray, stuff like that. Maybe even encrypted email if you wanted that to be in their ecosystem. Email aliasing could be interesting. But overall, their application, as you could see, really isn't missing anything important. They have Apple TV apps, Fire Stick TV apps, browser extensions, ad blocking support, like I said, DNS controls, remote VPN capabilities, works with torrenting in USA. So definitely very solid, and it's always updated. It's an application that's updated all the time. As you can see, just doing this review, I was just using this yesterday, but today it has a new update there. So definitely very solid application. So next up, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to actually test out the speeds. So right now, we're going to be doing a speed test. I'm already connected, which is convenient. So we're going to go to speedtest.net. Now, yesterday I actually did a speed test comparing this with Torguard, which is formerly the fastest VPN on the channel. But now Nord, I think, is actually faster. Not only that, but they also have a huge network of around 111 different server locations. With Nord, I could pretty much max out my speeds. Usually without VPN on, I get around 700 to 800. And as you can see here, we're getting no complaints on my behalf, around 750 megabits per second. So it's maybe even a little faster, 748. So as you can see, we're still connected. Live speed test here on the channel, as you always know we do. So very solid speeds, no complaints on my behalf for sure. All right, guys. So next up, we could talk about the privacy audit. And now this is definitely one area that Nord could improve a little bit. Now, not in terms of privacy being lacking in any sense of the word, but more about kind of transparency of the website and offerings. Now, some VPNs use like no analytics on their website in terms of like Google Analytics, but they still use kind of open source Matamo Analytics and those kind of things. But with NordVPN, they kind of use more of the standard kind of business stuff for online kind of companies, and they definitely could improve that a little bit. They use Google Analytics, I do believe, on their website, and they have, some cookies and trackers like that to optimize sales. When we're being as strict as possible, we like to see VPNs kind of use less of that kind of stuff. So that's definitely something Nord could improve. That said, Nord does have a really good history of kind of audits and things like that. They do a couple audits a year, I do believe, regarding like no logs. So if that's something you're worried about, you don't really have to worry about that with Nord. As you can see here, they've did multiple audits to ensure that they're not collecting any user information. So definitely pretty solid in terms of that. I just think that they could improve some of the kind of foundation analytics and stuff like that to be a little bit more privacy friendly. Like some VPNs kind of do. So that's something they could improve, just to be honest with you guys there. Next up though, guys, we could talk about customer support, and Nord doesn't really have any issues there. Very solid customer support, usually live chat on the website, fast ticket response times, so no issues there. Another category we could talk about is streaming compatibility. Now, what does that exactly mean? Well, with Nord, basically it's built in. Basically what you can do is pick a server and you could just kind of geo hop around. let's say you want to watch the Japanese version of Netflix, all you have to do is just type in, what's a Japanese city? I don't know. There you go. Osaka or Tokyo. You just connect from there. So even though I'm in the United States, I can watch the Japanese version of Netflix, which means I'll have more access to anime and those traditional Japanese kind of content that you might want. Now, I've tested this extensively, and Nord actually unblocks a lot more than a lot of other services. I think I've tested successfully around 15 different locations, which is pretty crazy. Some VPN providers out there like Torgor that have a streaming bundle only allow for like 2 locations. So if you're someone who really likes Netflix, hopping around kind of like that kind of thing, this definitely could be a pro for you if you want the best streaming compatibility. Also, it works with Hulu and those kind of things too. So definitely kind of think about that. Definitely very solid, probably my top rated VPN for streaming compatibility. Next up, as we round out this review, we really don't have too much other cons with Nord. Social media interactions with the company is good. They're very professional and things like that. And the GUI, as we discussed before, there's no complaints really at all. And that kind of comes to the end of our NordVPN review. If we think about it objectively, where are the improvements that could be made? Well, as I discussed, some of the pricing can be adjusted a little bit. In my opinion, I think it could be a little bit cheaper short term. I think some price increases after certain terms could be adjusted. But like I said, that's just kind of the reality of getting a really good discount price out first. Usually VPNs will kind of increase the price later on. So it's kind of standard in some ways, but it always could be better. Lastly, the privacy could be improved a little bit with transparency and involvement with the website, and kind of tracking users on how it uses the website could be a little bit adjusted in my opinion. But they're not really doing anything nefarious with that. I think they're just optimizing sales and stuff like that. And Nord is a huge company making lots of money. So, who knows? Maybe they know the best on how to get their company to make the most sales, to get the most VPNs in the most people's hands. There could be an argument for that as well. All right, guys, so that's my final review of NordVPN. Honestly, a very good VPN nowadays. It's made a lot of improvements over the years, whether that be increasing simultaneous connections, optimizing the application, making it very user-friendly, adding all sorts of different features to kind of increase the value proposition, whether that be threat protection, file sharing, these different bundles that are actually pretty good. NordPass is a pretty good password manager, things like that. Of course, stream compatibility works really well nowadays, hardly any issues, whereas that wasn't the case back in the day. Speeds have really gotten good. Lots of servers and countries support around 111, which is the biggest I think I've seen from any VPN provider. Honestly, very solid. So check it out, guys, if you want, in the link down in the description down below, and I'll see you again very soon.